want to factor this polynomial 25x squared plus 20x plus 4. So just like any trinomial, we're going to be looking for factors of the first term, 25x squared, and factors of the last term, such that the sum of the products of those factors is the middle term. So x squared can only be x times x, but there are choices for both 25 and 4. So 25 could be 5 times 5, 25 times 1, and 4 could be 2 times 2, or 4 times 1. I'd like to try the smaller ones first, so let me try 5 times 5 and 2 times 2 and see what we get. So multiply across, that's going to be 10x and 10x. If this sign is the positive, then the factors have the same. And this is positive, so these will both be positive. And that actually does add up to 20x. So now I'll put the signs in and take those cross terms for factors 5x plus 2 and 5x plus 2. Our next example, we want to find factors of the first term and factors of the last term, such that the sum of the products of those factors is the middle term. So x squared can only be x times x, but 21 can be 21 times 1, or 7 times 3. And 10 can be 10 times 1, or 5 times 2. So we want to try all combinations here. I like to start with the smaller numbers, so let me try these first and see if they work. So if I multiply across, that's a 35x and a 6x. And that could add up to 41. Let's check the signs. Same sign, both negative. So negative 35 plus negative 6, yep. That does add up, so we looked out, got that on the first guess. We will take the cross terms then. We have factors of 3x minus 5 and 7x minus 2. Could always check to see if that's right by multiplying those back together to get the original polynomial. We want to factor this polynomial, so factors of 3x squared and positive 6. Such that the sum of the products of those factors is the middle term. So x squared can only be x times x, and 3 is a prime number, so it only has factors of 3 times 1. So really, we just need to play around with factors of 6 to see what we can get. So if we try 6 times 1, that's 18x and 1x. There's no way that's going to add up to 7. So what happens if we switch those? Let's put the 6 on bottom and the 1 on top. So that'll be 3x and 6x. Will that add up to 7? No. So it's definitely not factors of 6 times 1 here. So let's try 3 times 2. So a 9x and a 2x. That could work. Let's check the signs. Same sign for a product that's positive, and they have to both be negative to have a sum that's negative. Actually, that doesn't add up. So one more possibility, and that's if we switch the 3 and the 2 so that it's 2 and 3. So we'll have 6x and 3x. That doesn't work either, and those are the only factors of 6. So that means, guess what? That is a prime polynomial. There are no other factors except 1 times itself. Now we want to factor this polynomial, this trinomial, so factors of the first term and factors of the last term, such that the sum of the products of those factors is the middle term. X squared has to be x times x. So 35 could be 35 times 1, or 7 times 5. And 4 could be 4 times 1, or 2 times 2. So I'm going to try 7 times 5 and 2 times 2 first, just because I like to try the smaller numbers first and see if they work. So let's multiply across. 7 times 2, that's 14x, and 10x. That might work. They have different signs, and the bigger number is positive. So, no, 10's not bigger. 14's bigger than 10. So, yep, that works. I'm going to attach those signs on there. Take those cross terms for a factor of 5x plus 2 and 7x minus 2. I can always double check by multiplying those back together. Our next example, we want to factor the first term and the last term such that the sum of the products of those factors is the middle term. So x to the fourth, remember, has got to be factors x squared times x squared. 5 is a prime number, and 7's a prime number. So I know that this can only be 7 times 1 or 1 times 7. So let's just try 7 times 1. Multiply across, that's 35x squared and 1x squared. The signs are different to have a negative product. The bigger number is positive. So bigger number is positive. 35 minus 1 is 34. So we can take those cross terms for our factors of x squared plus 7 and 5x squared minus 1. And I'm just going to double check that by multiplying those back together to see if we get the original polynomial. So x squared times 5x squared is 5x to the fourth. X squared times negative 1 is negative 1x squared. 7 times 5x squared is 35x squared, and 7 times negative 1 is minus 7. So if we combine those like terms, that is a positive 34x squared, and that matches the original polynomial.